Yo, 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 yo. It's your boy, the insurance junkie, your fiduciary fella, the all-star buzzer Alonzo Hall. Never turn today to weapon tap on your head. I guess a Wednesday rant. Today, I really don't have much to talk about, but I just thought about some things. I'm I'm going through a transition, and I think it's important to share this transition with people. Um, Especially as a man. My channel, I am going to focus on masculinity because I do see some issues with the black community. And no, I'm not talking about these grown ass men who are 40 and 50 crying about Keisha online all day. But we have grown ass men who are 18 and 20 who are seeing grown ass men cry about Keisha like I did when I was 18 and 20. And they looking at guys who are my age, 39 and 45, and now that I'm 39 and 45, with the same guys who are 39 and 45, the guys who we were looking up to are saying the same thing. Well, I'm not going to be that for these new young brothers. You saw the video I did yesterday. I showed you guys about my Mercedes Benz. I got my Mercedes Benz and my livelihood off of working with black men, productive black men. And that's all I want this channel to be about, is productive black men, specifically black men. Call it what you want. But we seem to be at the bottom of the totem pole as a whole, and that can't be. You know, I hang out with some dudes around my way, varying ages, but I realize when it comes to my circle, it's a lot of older guys. But one of the things that kills me on that is they don't give good advice. What do I mean? They give us advice on, hey, you should get your money right. Da 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 da. Why don't you guys tell us, since you guys are in pretty much fucked up predicaments, right? It's not like I was online on Facebook with a guy, and he was talking about, if a woman drinks or smokes, it's a red flag. And hey, listen, I'm a smoker, my wife is not. And trust me, I understand. It's a huge turnoff to my wife when she has to smell me smoking. So usually once I smoke, I gotta go. Now this is, something else. This isn't tobacco, but usually when I smoke now, I got to go wash my face and brush my teeth. Even when I'm doing business, people don't like to see smoke. It turns them off. Period. I realize this. But you know what I also realize? That these men talking about, hey, we need this, that, and the third from our women. Well, they don't have nothing. This guy is 50 something years old. So I said, so I assume you come with a fully funded 401k that you've been putting at least the maximum 22,500 in, or 19,500 in for the past few years, and da 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 da. And then his next response is, why would you assume all this? Right now, he was saying that because he was trying to say that my assumptions are strong based off of the fact that you just don't want a woman who smokes or drinks. No problem. But my assumptions are that off of the fact that you're 50 something fucking years old and you want a woman, period, nigga. This is shit you should have at 50 something years old. We shouldn't worry about you fucking DJing. You should be showing younger men, hey, listen, here's how a 401k works. Here's how this works. Drop some knowledge on the little niggas. But nah, we don't want to do that. We want to drop nonsense. Oh, I got a Mercedes Benz and I'm 50 something years old. I keep that hoe clean. I got a Mercedes Benz too. It's a car. Now, yes, the difference is I can do 80 and bend the corner and not slow down. The major difference is maintenance is more expensive. It looks nice, it feels nice. Maintenance is more expensive. But teach me about that, right? There's a new sneaker store that opened around my house. They got all sorts of Jordans. They know the ins and outs, ups and downs, left and rights of the Jordans. So I asked one of my homeboys, whose birthday is this week, he's turning 42 years old. Ask him about life insurance. He don't know shit about it. But I asked him, hey, black man, what's the deal with these breads? What are breads? Because I didn't ever knew all these different terms on Jordans. Apparently, breads are the original black and red color of the Chicago Bulls. That's what a bread is. But if I ask that nigga, hey, you got life insurance at 42? Oh, yeah, my mama took care of it. Would you let your mama buy your breads, nigga? You wouldn't? So why the fuck you got your mama taking care of your finances? Right? But these are the conversations that we have in real life with grown black men. I'm 42 years old, dog. You ain't making no sense. I gotta slap the shit out you. This is what we heard when we were 18, 19. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna be hypercritical of the black man. I'm actually gonna be hyper vigilant and hyper positive. I just have my little gripes briefly. But I also know that outside of the black men complaining about Keisha, I got reached out to by real estate agents online who are black men who've been talking to me about some concepts that I've been talking about in insurance and real estate. I had a black man reach out to me for a business opportunity. We was online. I said a couple things. Yo, I'm interested in doing da da da. Oh yeah? Yeah, well I do that already. Let me check out some things. Made me some connections. Next day I get a phone call. Hey Lonzo, what's up? Hey, what's up? Hey, listen, this is so and so from online. You know, you asked about ABC XYZ. So, I know you got a lot on your plate, and since I'm already in the business, I checked it out for you. Here's what you got to do. Bah, 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 bah. Welcome to the business. What? There's another black man who helped another black man get in the business. He's creating his own competition because I'm going to be doing the same thing he does. Right? But again, I got a lot of guys who seem to run from it, and it's crazy. Right? Like I said, this Benz was gotten from me doing business with other black men. Right? One transaction, I made an annual salary from one other black man. Black man, actually, you guys probably heard me put the video out. They introduced me to the brother, $500,000 in business. Now, it's twofold because I helped the brother who put the $500,000 away by helping him put the $500,000 away. That bolsters his retirement. Right? And then actually that gets to me too. Because I want to talk about, these wicked insurance agents, man, that don't know nothing. It's funny because they be like, whole life insurance. Like, I know a bunch of agents who work for Primerica who sell term insurance and tell you to invest the rest. And I know they speak out against whole life insurance. And yeah, what's going on? I just ranting about brothers, but right now I'm gonna get back into the whole insurance thing. because I think whole life insurance is garbage, and I don't think anybody should buy whole life insurance. But that's all you talk about, Alonzo, is getting permanent life insurance. Yes, I do think you should have permanent life insurance, but I don't think it should be whole life. And I think people who sell you whole life insurance are just in it for their pocket. Well, why would I say that? Because whole life insurance is a death check. Yes, you can use it like permanent life insurance, but it's not the same. I think I'll go on a rant since I have it just once that I can rant here. But you got to understand how it works. So there's major differences in the different types of life insurance, right? I think I'm gonna stop complaining about Keisha and dudes who complain about Keisha and all that, and I'm just gonna keep it focused on business. So when you're looking at life insurance, what's going on, boss? There's a few different types. Obviously, you have term, which is that, right? So term means that you pay for that period of time, just like in the Benz. Least bells and whistles, smallest barrier to entry. But then you have permanent, and you have different forms of permanent. So in permanent, you have whole life, which is what most people know. But you also have universal life. And then you have what I like to sell, which is indexed universal life, which is investment grade. And what's the major difference? Well, in that, you'd have to look at the infinite banking concept. What's up on the spot? And why I understand why people would sell you term life insurance and tell you to invest the rest. And why they would speak against whole life insurance. Because in my personal opinion, as a financial professional, who I sell all types of insurance, right? Whole, term, universal, index, universal, annuities, IRAs, right? 401ks, 403bs, 457s. So the guy who says they're an insurance agent, there's a lot more than just a life insurance policy that they can sell to you. But you have to be in a financial position. I'll give you an example. I have a client who I just closed a deal with this morning, and he said something to me. Number one, this black man is in a position where a lot of us black men need to strive to be, instead of trying to be on some bullshit and be like this man. This black man has 3 jobs. This black man, however, makes about $500,000 a year with those 3 jobs. Right? He's not exactly at 500,000. He has a 400 and change annual salary. Right? Fully funding his 401k. And then after he finished this life insurance policy that he's paying well over $1,000 a month. And like I told y'all, black men, $1,000 a month is not a lot of money on life insurance when you're buying money. That's what life insurance is. If you buy it the right way, you're literally buying more spending power. Right? Imagine if you bought a pair of breads and oh, give me 1 second. I'm live right now. Boom. Respond to my mother. Good morning, mother. All right. Always good. Dark man Jeff, what up, homie? So yeah, this black man is spending over $1,000 a month, and that's just on his life insurance. Oh, and by the way, this man, no wife and kids yet, but he's already thinking forward, right? Because hey, listen, life insurance works like this: if I have a wife and kids and I die, yes, they'll get a great big check. And if I don't have a wife and kids and I don't die, I get to use the money. Right? But this is why I don't like whole life insurance, because whole life insurance is a scam for the customer. Right? You'll hear agents, oh, don't listen to those guys who tell you to use index universal life insurance for infinite banking. You can use whole life. No, The infinite banking is supposed to be for you, the client. The reason I don't mind telling my clients and looking them dead in the face and say, hey, Mr. Client, you are going to make me rich. I tell them right off the bat, I'm in it for me. I'm going to get me some money. But the only way you'll make me rich is if it's more beneficial to you. Salute, Guida. So what does that mean? Well, the way I set it up is so that you are actually going to benefit. He sent me a video of some people breaking down a poorly designed IUL. I'm going to start doing more content like that for you guys too. But the way that whole life insurance works is it's not good for the client in terms of if they're looking to build it as an asset. Now, you should have every single type of policy. You should have term, you should have permanent, and you should have universal. On the spot for people like you, it can because you're self-employed. So you can, like you and I, we get paid the same way, right? Real estate insurance. So we get commission checks, right? So like I said, I bought this Benz off of one commission check. The commission check was $30,000. And that was just one life insurance policy. Because I hear a bunch of people say, oh, especially black men, oh man, I'd rather get into real estate. Listen, real estate and insurance are the same thing, but there's more money in insurance. I've done both. I've been REBNY licensed and all that. REBNY is Real Estate Board of New York. That's the guys you see on $1 Million Listings, New York. My first listing was $14.6 million. Did it sell? No. But I have encountered many, many different high level things. So anyway, a traditional whole life is good for having a whole life policy. But here's why you'll hear people say things like you should buy term and invest the rest. Because in my honest opinion, as an advisor who's been doing this for 15 years, nobody should pay for life insurance for their whole life. You shouldn't be paying for life insurance for 20, 30 years at the max, right? So that's why they have a 30-year term life insurance policy. So that's generally why you'll hear people pushing term life insurance, because they don't understand how permanent life insurance works. They've never been trained on different things, right? For example, on the spot, I remember you were on a panel explaining to people the difference in parcels when buying real estate that is a physical property where there will be a physical address versus buying land. The land probably won't have the same kind of identifiers as a physical property. I can't remember how you said it, but it was something like that, right? So it's the same thing with insurance. All insurance policies aren't made the same. You know, they have a 1-year term life insurance policy. Somebody says buy term, invest the rest. By the time your term is done, your investment should be able to pay for your insurance. Okay, cool. Let me buy that 1-year term. So next year, my investments should be able to replace my insurance. Doesn't work like that. Damn, I got gas. I hate when I have gas. As I have I need to stop playing bullshit games as a black man, because we tend to do that and look over our health, right? But so with the whole life, here's why I don't like whole life. It builds cash value, yes. It stays the same price, yes. There are great features and benefits. But just like this E350 doesn't have the same bells and whistles as an S550 or an S580, absolutely you should get something private. I want you to Google something called COLI, COLI, corporate owned life insurance. That's where the company gets life insurance on you, the employee. But when you die, you don't get none of that. Your family don't get none of that, I should say. But Whole life builds cash value on the side for you, and that is a great thing. The problem is that they steal your money in whole life insurance. What do I mean by that? Well, with whole life insurance, I'm just going to use round figures. All right. So it's easy to absorb. Let's say you get a $100,000 death benefit whole life insurance policy. 10 years go by and you have $50,000 of cash value built up into the policy. And then you get hit by a bus and die. Well, the insurance company is now only on the hook for $50,000 because your contract says when you die, they give your family $100,000. So they're only going to take $50,000 of their money and $50,000 of this cash value that you've built up, and there's $100,000 for your family. In my opinion, that's stealing money from you. But I still believe you need permanent life insurance. Term life insurance is a waste of money too. So then what do you get? You get universal or indexed universal life insurance. Why? Well, let's look at that scenario. Right? With index universal life insurance, you got $100,000 policy. 10 years pass, you got $50,000 worth of cash built up in the policy. Depending on how the policy is structured, when you die, instead of $100,000, the insurance company is going to take that $50,000 of cash value that you built up and give your family $150,000 because the contract that they originally agreed to was that they are on the hook for at least $100,000. Anything above that you've built up through your investment, because it's a separate investment account, is your money. That goes to your family, or you can use it. So now, I want to answer a couple questions here. So on a spot asks, can what you pay for your policy reduce a personal tax liability for the year? No, you cannot do a personal tax liability. Okay. This is only in a structure for business people. This is why I said people like you on the spot who are self-employed. So people say all the time, oh, I'm gonna start an LLC. Guess what? Me and On the Spot Live, literally for the fact that she has her real estate license, she can go down to the bank with her real estate license, because that's a business license, and say, open a bank account in this name, whatever her, like I literally did it. I went down to Chase Bank with my insurance license, and they were like, oh, we need your business license and your EIN and with the state. And I was like, no, you fucking retard. Because people who work at the bank don't know finance. All they know how to do is take orders. Literally, people at the bank are just cashiers at McDonald's. They don't know shit about finance. Right? So I had to teach the motherfuckers at Chase Bank how to open a business bank account without all the other shit. Because my license to do insurance is a business license, just like your license to sell real estate is a business license. So you can go open a business bank account in your government name because you are registered as a business with your state. Everyone who gets an insurance or real estate license. You don't have to open an LLC and all this other dumb shit. But no, it can't do your personal. And then it says, I work for the state and pay insurance through them. Should I get a separate insurance? So I don't know if state pay grades are similar to government, but I'll put it to you like this. If you know government employees, my wife is a GS 13, right? So my wife is a government employee. It's different with government employees. Unfortunately, because of the way the federal government works, they don't allow me to sell certain stuff to my wife, because if so, we'd be bazillionaires, because I'd be selling everything to everybody she works with. Um, but they won't let me. The federal government was like, nah, B. you gets no wins in mi casa. I was like, damn, come on. Federal government was like, nah, we putting a kibosh on that. But yes, you should get something private. Again, Coley corporate owned life insurance. Look up a Michael Moore documentary called, I think it's called Capitalism: A Love Affair. It showed where companies like Walmart, Procter and Gamble, Nestle had taken out corporate owned life insurance policies. There was one where Amity Bank, where an executive, they took about $5 million of policies out on him. When he died, his family got nothing because it's corporate owned life insurance. That's literally there so that they can pay for your replacement, not so that your family gets anything. Plus, riddle me this, right? Answer me this, Jeff. And this isn't just for you, Jeff, but this is because I'm addressing your question. But everyone, you have to think logically. At a time of grieving, right, is when you're saying that your life insurance through your job is going to help your family. But imagine this. How easy is it for you, and you work there and know the people who are in your HR department, so you know who to go see, right? You know, if you got to go see Olga in HR for document 1015 to request 2 weeks off, you know where Olga's office is, when she be in the office, this, that, and the third. Unfortunately, your family doesn't. So when you keep insurance only from your job, what you're telling your family is, hey, I hope you can figure out who Olga is at HR at my job, and that they even let you into the job to get to the right people. Because see, people, when a person dies, the insurance company doesn't get a flag. Oh, John Smith died. Let us send out the check. No, their idea is, I'm gonna keep the money until somebody calls and tells me that they need the money. Let's see. Unrelated. Is it really hard for you to get clients for your business? Do you get invited to a lot of business affairs? Um, that's why most people tend to go towards real estate, because they think it's just, hey, I do real estate, and people are just going to come to you, and that's not how it works. Uh, people think, hey, I do real estate, and people are just going to, everybody who wants to buy a house, don't waste time, and that's not how it works. So with insurance, is very much the same thing. It's probably a lot harder because nobody wants to get, especially life insurance, because everybody thinks they've had it figured out, and everybody knows somebody who had their license with Primerica. Everybody knows somebody who had a real estate license too, but they'll listen to you about real estate because they know they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But in insurance, people know they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but they think they have it figured out because of advertisement. And advertisement makes you think of life insurance as a product, not an asset, right? So yeah, it can be difficult to get clients, but I'm unorthodox, right? So I do things like curse, spit, and smoke, right? So people tend to listen to what I'm saying. And then the clientele that I get, for me personally, it is very hard. A lot of my clientele has come from online. And I mean, it's relative. I don't get invited to a lot of business affairs. I could, because there are a lot of people who do what I do who go to those, but I'm also niche. I'm not for the average person. Like I said, if you're not spending $1,000 a month or more on your life insurance, we're probably not having a conversation. Real estate. I try to work with CPAs as well, Enya. So the question is there an industry you could work with that could leverage what you both could offer your clients? I'd love to work with accountants, realtors. So anybody that's a professional can benefit from working with a life insurance agent. So let's look at real estate. Real estate, you get people all the time who come and want to buy a house, but they don't qualify. Give me 1 second. I gotta turn on this car. I gotta these wind. wipe my daggone window. Something was sticky on my window. I'll go get a I gotta go. I gotta make some commission. I gotta get this car fixed a little bit. But so yeah, in terms of leveraging clients, real estate would be great. For example, with real estate, you'll have people who will come to you for real estate, but they don't qualify for a mortgage. And you'll say, hey, come back in a year or two. But what you can do is you set them up with a person like me. So now you become a hero in their eyes because now there's an actual way and trajectory other than, hey, go see this guy and get your credit fixed. Right? What if I told you you can help them by getting a life insurance policy? It builds cash value. Prime example, I have a client who has a $2.4 million death benefit that he's going to use to leverage his life insurance to buy real estate. Right? So mortgage professionals, hey, you can't qualify for a mortgage right now. Do you have life insurance that's been in force for at least 2 years? Yes, it's $1 million policy. Yes, that's an asset. Why? Because the mortgage company would rather collateralize that life insurance, that $1 million. Let's say you got $1 million death benefit and the house is $500,000. And you've had this policy in force for at least 2 years. Well, you go, hey, I want to borrow against, I want to use the house as the life insurance as collateral instead of the house as collateral. The mortgage company is going to go, yeah, that's a great idea. Why? Because they know if you die, then they have the money of the death benefit. And if you live, they don't have to go through all that arduous task of foreclosure and all the paperwork of foreclosure. You know what they do? They, because they are the assignee of your life insurance policy, get to cancel that life insurance policy. And any cash that you've built up, let's say you got the policy for 10 years and the house is $250,000, but you have $100,000 inside of that life insurance policy, and you miss your mortgage payments and you're at that point where they're sending you stuff and they're about to foreclose on your house. Well, because they don't have the money, the lien on the house, because the house isn't what collateralized it, the life insurance policy is what collateralized it, so they have a lien on the life insurance. So all they can do is cancel the life insurance policy and take that $100,000. Guess what? You still have your physical property, but all the real estate agents that I've tried to work with have their head too fucking far up their ass to even listen. Hey, things like a 1031 exchange. Right now, the real estate market is really volatile because interest rates suck. If I was at a 2.7% interest rate and I had to go to 11% interest rate in a transaction of like kind, I don't want to do that shit. But you as a realtor are only thinking about your fucking commission and saying bullshit to me like, hey, house is a 30-year commitment. Yeah, most people refinance or lose their house in the first 12 fucking years. But if you were to send them to me and say, hey, do like a 1035 exchange, which is a like kind transaction. If you go to Google and type in 1035 exchange, you'll see annuity to annuity or life insurance to life insurance, but it's financial transaction to financial transaction. So if you get that $250,000 or $500,000 if you're married and you go $1 above it, you got to pay capital gains. But if you roll it over in a 1035 exchange, you don't have to pay capital gains. Then you've got, I don't know, let's say a retirement account there. So if you don't decide to buy real estate, you've actually got money to live off of in your golden years. And if you do decide to buy real estate, you've actually got liquid cash there, making it better for you to qualify for a mortgage, making it more likely for the realtor to close, making it more likely that that realtor will be up on the top 50 under 50. But again, they don't know this shit. And most insurance agents get real estate license and do both, but they don't know insurance like that. Now, another way that we could leverage what we do is we can work with accountants, right? We can do things like Section 162 executive bonus plans. I'm not going to go deep into that because I just went on a super rant. Let me answer the rest of these questions. But, and yeah, real estate is something that we could definitely leverage both of each other. And accountants is definitely, even if you're just a tax preparer. I also have my PTIN, Prepares Tax Identification Number, so I'm licensed to do taxes in all 50 states. The reason I do all these things is because they're all related to insurance. It says, okay, I was legit curious. I always see financial advisors posted up at various health and business affairs. Yeah, I don't do those things. They're a waste of time for us. We don't have a tangible product. Most people are going to come. Let me see if I have it in my back seat. Hold on. I want to see if I have. Take off these Burberry shades. I keep bragging. I know I keep naming the name brands of shit, but I've also realized, especially in my position, um, for what I do, people kind of do want to see that you have expensive stuff. The problem is sometimes, like JT the Pocket Watcher, I'm sure he's a multimillionaire, but he's not as flashy as I am. I'm gonna admit I'm a bit flashy. Plus, he's on the advisory side, not the sales side. On the sales side of thing, people want to see that you you've spent money, which is weird because people should want to see that I'm frugal. But I've noticed when people see me flash, they spend more money with me. That's kind of why I bought a Benz, just because now when I be driving down the street, people, and I live in a small town, so to have a basically a new car is 7 models or newer, right? 7 model years or newer. Well, now it's about to be 2024, and I mean this car had less than 75,000 miles when I got it. It doesn't even have 80,000 miles now because I don't go anywhere. But give me 1 second. Where is my folder? That's it. So, uh, here we go. Yeah, you'll see advisors posted up at those events, and like they do things like hand out flyers like this. And the problem with that, like this is a flyer. It says life insurance as an asset, right? And it's great, but 90% of the people you give this stuff to, they don't read it. That's why when people are like, "Hey, can you give me some more information?" No. Why? Because this shit, this fucking piece of paper, this shit costs me money. I had to pay for this out of my own fucking pocket. Even though it's got a company name and all that shit, I got to pay the company for using their name. It's like a fucking drug racket, right? That State Farm agent that has his name on the side of the State Farm, he got to pay State Farm for that. State Farm ain't hire his ass. No, State Farm said, "Oh, you want some insurance? Yeah, I give us 50 racks." And then you got to do everything the way we say it. And because niggas know our name, they'll fuck with you. And so because of that, you got to pay us 50 racks up front. You know how I know? I used to own an Allstate in East New York. I was going to open a farmer's insurance agency out here. Now, farmers only wanted 30 racks from me. Farmers was like, "Oh, you want to open up an agency?" Yeah. "Oh, cool. We don't have an agency over there. It would actually be great if you would open an agency." I was like, "Yeah." They was like, "Yeah, 30 racks, please." On the spot, as a real estate broker, you want a Caldwell Banker? Yeah, I want to. I used to be with Caldwell Banker. You want a Caldwell Banker? Yeah, okay, cool. You want a Douglas Elliman? Yeah, okay, cool. You want Douglas Elliman is Prudential. Prudential, the insurance company, is Douglas Elliman Real Estate. So you want a Douglas Elliman? Yeah, okay. Give us X amount of dollars up front. And then you can use our name. And people will fuck with you off of the fact that, hey, I've heard of Caldwell Banker. I've heard of Century 21. I've heard of Remax. I've heard of Keller Williams. You know how much it costs me to just use their name? I ain't even made a dime yet. But I gotta come up with 50 racks for their ass. And then they go, "Cool, you can use our name. See ya." Well, what about the help? Oh yeah, you could go buy furniture with our branding from this spot, and it has to remain in our color scheme. And here you can buy your sign from this spot, and it has to remain in our color scheme. But the money that you can make from all of this stuff is incredible, and the freedom is incredible. But it's not for everybody. But those things like flyers and stuff cost money. And so when even realtors, stop asking them for the information if you're not going to actually use it, which 90% of the people, we know for a fact, when I give you this that says life insurance as an asset, you know how I know that nobody's read this? Because not a single person that I've given this to has given me a phone call. Let's read this just so we can see what this says. Life insurance as an asset. One policy to serve multiple needs. Alonzo Hall, CG Wealth Solutions Group, 1500 Astor Avenue, second floor, Bronx, New York, 10469. And then it has my cell phone and da. And then it has here my principals group, my company, CG Wealth Solutions Group. And under there, remember, like I said, if you want to use a company, they make you pay up front. So you see how this says CG Wealth Solutions Group. So ADH Wealth Solutions is my company, but CG Wealth Solutions Group is the company that I belong to, so that I'm a broker underneath. On the spot understands how brokers work, but basically I'm under him and everybody under me is under me, but we're under him and he's under them. And what does it say? CG Wealth Solutions Group is not an affiliate of Emeritus. But we're using all your name. We're using all your stuff. No, you paid to do that, homeboy. You better use your own logo and all that. So we pay this money. Now, let's read what this says. Again, this says life insurance as an asset. Most people think of life insurance as a check when they die, not of an asset. So it says the scenario. Heather is a 45 and a single mom. She knows she's behind in saving for retirement. The only savings she has is about $100,000 in her 401k plan and a $10,000 emergency fund in her savings account. Heather is actually ahead of the game over most Americans. Most Americans don't have access to $1,000 in the event of emergency. Her goal is to continue to contribute the maximum allowed to the 401k each year, which is $22,500. She makes an appointment with Nicole. Ironically enough, that's my wife's name. A financial professional that a coworker referred her to see if there's anything more she can do to catch up on her savings. Nicole applauds how much she's already saved. She says it's a good idea to continue building her 401k account. She asks her if she's thought about how far her emergency fund would really stretch if something major were to happen. What would happen to her finances if she were diagnosed with a serious illness? It's comforting to have life insurance in place so your loved ones will be taken care of if you're no longer around. But what happens if you don't die? Heather understands that she doesn't have enough life insurance and has never given much thought to the impact that an illness could have, especially after things like COVID, right? All she knows is that she doesn't want to become a burden to her daughter later in life. How can she manage to cover all of her needs? She makes a decent living, but worries that it might not be enough. So now there's more on the back. A planning strategy. Well, Nicole recommends Heather purchase a permanent life insurance policy, and that may help address her needs. It will provide the desired death benefit for her daughter. It also grows equity, you know, kind of like you're worried about in your house, with which she can supplement her future retirement needs. Cash value grows within the policy, tax deferred, and she would be able to access that cash value at any time through policy loans. She wouldn't have to pay taxes on the loans unless the policy lapses. Nicole emphasizes the need to monitor the policy to make sure that doesn't happen. If it does lapse, unpaid loans are treated as distributions and taxed accordingly. So now also there's living benefits. Okay. So Nicole goes on to explain how, with careful planning, using the cash value from her policy may give her more options when it comes to her retirement income. Before we go there, let's look at using that money while you're alive. Like I said, oh, well, what happens if you get sick and don't die and you're out of work for months? Well, did you know that your life insurance policy carries living benefits? So, what are living benefits? Well, if you get a terminal illness, meaning you're going to die in 12 months or less, the doctor says, you can get 75% of your death benefit tax-free, cash. So let's say you have a $100,000 policy and the doctor says, hey, Heather, You got less than a year, so and Heather's like, well, damn. Well, I always wanted to do this, that, and the third, and go skydiving and go to Prague. You know what? Let me access that 75 grand in this life insurance policy and go live out my dreams. Boom. Done deal. Then she could also get a chronic illness, which means you can't perform 2 activities of daily living. So Heather blows up to 600 pounds, like my 600-pound life on TLC, and she's bedridden, and she can't bathe herself, and she can't toilet by herself, and she can't dress herself. I'm using an extreme example. Yes, she blew up to 600 pounds and got bedridden. But we know other things, let's say things that really happen. While she's driving, she drops her daughter off to school. As she pulls out from the school parking lot, some asshole's driving way too fast and T-bones her. She gets knocked out. She's crippled, but she didn't die. She can't go back to work now because her legs and arms are all messed up. She's got to go to rehab. Somebody's got to pay for that. She can't perform 2 activities of daily living. She can't bathe herself. She can't feed herself because she's in a cast. So she can go to her life insurance. She can make a call. Hey, Lonzo. Or hey, Nicole. I need you to pay Sunnyside's rehabilitation center so I can get rehabilitated. 50% of her death benefit. Let's say she has a stroke or needs to go on kidney dialysis because she got diabetes, because that's prevalent in the Black community, right? It ain't like a whole bunch of us ain't got, oh, the sugar runs in my family. No, bad eating habits run in your family. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of it too. Nigga, I got the sugar, I got the high blood pressure, and I got the denial of it. I'll be all right. I don't need to take my medicine. I'm gonna be good. All right, black man, go ahead and die like fucking Virgil Abloh. But black men, we don't like to listen until it's too late. Right? My blood pressure was fucking 200 over 159. I'm in tears over that. That's neglecting myself. Right? That's absolutely neglecting myself. That's stroke territory. 200 blood pressure is stroke territory. What's up, bro? You know? But I'm sitting here doing shit like smoking. No, YOLO, you only live once. I'm gonna die one day. All right, you stupid motherfucker. Go ahead and die. It is what it is. Right? So, that's just a little bit of my rant. But so you can actually borrow now from your whole life policy or your permanent policy. And that can be, like I said, that would be end stage renal failure, right? Kidney dialysis because the sugar runs in the family. That would be, they give you 25% of your death benefit, tax free. Or in this scenario, $100,000 policy, $25,000. So again, 90% of the time when we hand this shit out sitting at those fairs and shit, it's a waste of time. I don't go to those because people don't read these things. So, Nicole goes on to explain how with careful planning, using the cash value from her life insurance policy may give her more options when it comes to her retirement income. The tax treatment of loans is a powerful option to have at retirement. offsetting what might be lost to taxes from her other retirement savings. At some point, most retirement assets other than Roth IRAs and Roth accounts will be taxed. Careful planning may help Heather minimize her tax burden when she begins to take distributions from tax sheltered accounts. I want somebody to go to Google, because I can't do it right now because I'm on my phone. And I want you to put, is life insurance a tax shelter? And when you find out it is, come see me and let's set up yours. Heather also likes the accelerated death benefit rider that gives her and her daughter more financial protection. Now, if she experiences well, I just went over this. Now, if she experiences an unforeseen illness, she can access a portion of the death benefit to help pay for her care. So they started off talking about the fact that life insurance is also a retirement account, which is why they call it life insurance, not death insurance. People buy death insurance. That's why you guys don't buy life insurance a lot. I wouldn't buy death insurance either. Who wants to buy something that's just a check when you die? That's not what life insurance, that's what term insurance is. Term insurance is death insurance. I sell death insurance too. So the moral of the story, as you build your financial portfolio, it's important to recognize the value that life insurance can have throughout your lifetime. Not only does it provide a valuable death benefit, it also works as an asset to help you use your assets more efficiently. Whether it's protecting your financial future, transferring wealth, or supplementing income. You know, like those grandmas who all they do is play the numbers because they want to hit the lotto because they ain't get enough retirement money. You know, like Miss Jones. Hey, Miss Pearl. Oh, hold on, baby. I got to play my midday numbers. You know that Powerball is up to 402 million. If I hit, we gonna be all set. My whole family gonna be all right. That's because your granddaddy fucked up and didn't get life insurance as the man of the family. And if he did, he didn't get proper life insurance. See, people will get life insurance and be like, I'm done. I have one life insurance policy. But they'll do dumb shit like buy a house and then be like, I'm going to own 15 houses. Okay, what's up? Well, if you own one life insurance policy, I promise you you're underinsured. It's not your fault. Well, there's actually a multitude of reasons why 98%, and it's 2% actually. I know they say 1% on Google. It's actually 2% of term policies that pay out. Whole life insurance ain't no better. Only about 20% of whole life policies pay out. So it's not like life insurance has a huge thing of paying out. One large reason for that is a lot of people buy term insurance, and a lot of people outlive their term insurance because term insurance is a death check. That's all term insurance is. Now, with whole life insurance, a lot of people use that as an asset, not as a death benefit. So when they use whole life insurance as an asset, it's not going to pay out because, for example, like I said with Heather and Nicole, let's say Heather gets $1 million policy, doesn't get sick and doesn't die. Her daughter starts getting older. Heather turns 60 years old and says, now I'm going to go ahead and start borrowing from this life insurance policy, or I'm going to start taking loans, not borrowing, because you don't want to borrow from the life insurance. You want to borrow against the life insurance policy. So Heather's going to start borrowing from the life insurance policy, I don't know, $25,000 a year. She ain't got to pay taxes on it because it's a loan. And then she does that for 25 years, and there's an outstanding balance of $100,000 left on the policy. Or I'm sorry, let's say she owes in loans, she owes $250,000 in loans, right? And she had, I don't know, let's say she had $250,000 in cash value. But now she's borrowed, so she doesn't have that cash value because it's an outstanding loan. She still has a death benefit of $1 million. So when she dies, her daughter is just going to get $750,000 instead of $1 million. So that loan that she took, or let's use a round figure. Let's say she only had a $250,000 policy. She got $249,000 in loans, right? And then she dies. Her daughter just won't get nothing because the company will say, okay, well, she owes us $250,000. This death benefit is $250,000. It's a wash. She actually got to benefit from her life insurance. But see, you have to speak with an advisor who knows what the fuck they're doing and is not just out in it for commission. You're going to make me rich. If you have an advisor you're working with, you're going to go ask him a bunch of questions now. He's not going to teach you anything. And you're going to just sit there and be like, well, I think I'm covered. I got some insurance. So again, the wealthy get insurance, at least 7 policies on one life. Well, let's look at things. One thing that's huge and prevalent in the Black community. Oh, my godparents. So I gotta make cousin Brian my baby's godson, because the godparent is gonna be with gifts, right? They're gonna cousin Brian got money, so you know that your baby's gonna get good Christmas gifts. But you know that the purpose of making someone a godparent is, hey, if I am in a car accident and I'm a vegetable for the rest of my life, somebody got to take care of this here kid. Brian, that's gonna be you. Or if I die because of this car accident, somebody got to take care of this kid. Brian, that's gonna be you. So that would be the perfect reason to get a 20-year term policy and make Brian the beneficiary. Because if that's death insurance, right? That's life insurance, but that's death insurance. Salute sheet. That's how you can actually protect. So you say, hey, I'm gonna get this 20-year term for $250,000 or $1 million. So I'm gonna leave you $50,000 a year to take care of little Ray Ray in the event that I die, because you're the godfather. Oh shit, I'm gonna play too if it's $2 billion. I mean, fuck it, why not, right? But we're not putting our broke genius. You might play the lotto, but you do a whole bunch of other stuff. Like you was just breaking down the classification of Class A neighborhoods, Class B neighborhoods, things like that, right? Well, stuff like that is I mean, don't think wealthy people don't play the lottery. That's not what it is. See, people be having things twisted because they be not wealthy, talking about what wealthy people do. How you know? You're not wealthy. Trust me. I know some wealthy folks. They play lotto. Guess what they also do? They do things like I do. Like I got in my trunk right now, I got a bag full of cans and bottles. I'm waiting until we fill up another bag because we recycle. So we have the our water bottles and stuff. Damn that. Water bottles and stuff that we put in our recycling bin. So it fills up. I take the bag, I bring it out here, put it in the car, drive off, and bring and recycle. Wealthy people recycle all the time. That's why they're wealthy. Wealthy people do a lot of stuff that the average person looks down upon the poor person for doing. Oh, you collecting cans and bottles. Listen, I remember back in 2012, I was on Wall Street. I was leaving my office, 100 Broadway. Walking to the train station, I look to my right. There's this street. What's going on? Big discussion. Salute. I walk by this street and there's a woman hopping out of a 2012 white on white Mercedes Benz, and she's digging through the trash. There's a Chinese woman who owned a Chinese food restaurant. The trash she was digging through was the bagged salads that people didn't eat, or the pre-prepared salad. She was using that at her restaurant as the vegetables. That's a cost that the business don't have. Guess what? That's how she was able to be in that full leather Louis Vuitton outfit. He says gambling is on the list, although not recommended to get rich. Gambling, listen, gambling is on the list. Gambling is something the motherfuckers tell you to do all the time. Investing. You don't know what the fuck investing is. Nobody, most of these people who are investing don't know what the fuck investing actually is. Number one, you do it in large amounts. Most people don't have the money to do so. That's why it's gambling. What do I mean when I say this? Investing, yes, the trades are done in pennies. But if you're not transacting in the tens of thousands of dollars, then it doesn't mean anything. Right? Because prime example, the video I did where I showed you $1,000 in a savings account, and in 1 month I got 1 penny in interest. And I explained that in 1 month to earn 1 penny in interest on $1,000 is actually an incredible interest rate. So what does that mean? That means that if I had $10,000, my yield would have been 10 cents. Okay? So now you have to put things in scale. So when they're talking all these numbers, yeah, it looks nice. I put in $500. I'm at $550. Yeah. First of all, somebody has to pay you that extra $50. So that's why they call it an unrealized capital gain. Now, it's funny because I don't have my securities licenses, but I know more than people who sell this stuff. I don't have my securities licenses because I'm not a great test taker. I know the information in, down, in, out, up, down, left, right, back, forth, contra code, right? I know the information better than an investment advisor who's been doing this for 20 years. I guarantee you that. And I speak with absolute confidence in saying that. The only thing is I don't hold the credential because I just don't test well. Don't know what it is. And they make these tests very ambiguous, right? But I also don't like the regulation. As you see, I'm unorthodox and I talk like this. Because when I talk to money managers, they be like, you talk like a money manager. You don't talk like an insurance agent. And I'm like, that's because I am a money manager. I just don't have the regulation that you fucks have. Right? So yeah, I don't talk to the people with the big checks, but I get big checks. No, I wasn't a trader. I was a stockbroker. I was an actual broker. So I was actually on Wall Street. My office was on 39 Broadway. It was a company called E.J. Sterling. And what they do is it's just like Boiler Room, the movie, or Wolf of Wall Street. So you got to be there by 7:30 in the morning, full dress. If it's 7:31, the door will be closed in your face and the door will be locked. You're not allowed in. You have to go home for the day. It's 100% commission. They give you $0. And your job is to call, hey, Bob, hi. Hey, Bob, this is Al from E.J. Sterling in New York. Look, my firm is set to release a major recommendation. Can I get a senior broker to get back to you in the mornings or the afternoons? Alonzo, fuck off. Look, Bob, I'm not trying to interfere in anything you had. I'm just hoping that if I came to you with an open mind and a little bit of opportunity, you'd be interested, right? Look, Al, fuck your mother. Look, Bob, I don't care about all of that. Look, all I want is an open mind and opportunity. So when can my broker get back to you? That's why they do a copious amounts of cocaine as stockbrokers. Because you have to have a lot of energy. Right? It's just kind of, it is what it is. That's why I do insurance. I remember on Christmas Eve, I've been called all sorts of niggers. That's one of the ways they weed you out. It's really easy to get black guys out of stockbrokeraging because the first thing they'll do, oh, you fucking nigger. What? Who you calling nigger? Nigga, you better let that motherfucker call you a nigga. You call niggas every day. You about to make $15,000 off of that motherfucker calling you a nigga. Nigga, can I have another? Right? So I've been called all sorts of niggers and idiots, right? But I remember this one time, It was Christmas Eve. I was calling some dude in Montana. I was like, hey, Bob, and I go through my spiel. He's like, Al, I'll tell you what, it's Christmas Eve. You've got to be a dumb motherfucker to call me on Christmas Eve to try and manage my money. I said, hey, Bob, listen, I'm here on Christmas Eve, right? He says, yeah. I said, now let me ask you, what do you think your guy at Schwab is doing? I said, your guy at Schwab right now is on a fucking yacht blowing cocaine off a hooker's ass because that's where I'd be if I wasn't fucking here managing your money. Do you want him to manage your money or me, the motherfucking stupid motherfucker who's here to manage your money? That's why when people get offended by me talking shit and shit, and cursing, oh, you're supposed to be a professional. Motherfucker, when I was doing stocks, all we did was curse at them motherfuckers. What's up, mulatto? Well, what ended up happening after that, now I didn't have my Series 7 license at the time. So I had to put him with a senior broker. That senior broker made $12,245 off of that phone call. I made $200. Okay? So that's why insurance is so important. And having your credentials. And keeping stoicism. Black man. Remain stoic. Anyway, damn, I've been going for an hour. I was literally just trying to go for 10 minutes, but I'm passionate about this. So let me get back to what I was originally ranting about, which was how whole life insurance is trash because the insurance company keeps your money. Oh, yeah, bro. Listen, he says the only guy that I met that was serious about giving me funded needed to actually giving me the funding needed to actually day trade was very racist. He was a multimillionaire owner of a family meat manufacturer in Chicago. I mean, listen, rich people are racist as fuck, but they're not. What they are is classist, right? Everybody watching this should have seen the movie Deep Cover. There's a scene with Jeff Goldblum and a Mexican cartel member. And he says, listen, uh, you're a gringo. How do I know I can trust you? Jeff Goldblum turns around to him and says, hey, dude, Paco, I'm rich, you're rich. We're on the same side. I don't give a fuck about broke people. He says, I told him I could beat what his broker was giving him, but I didn't want to get into no trouble with the SEC, so I backed up. Yeah, so you can't get in trouble with the SEC, bro. You're not licensed. Now, what they will do is they'll stop you from trading on his behalf, but there's really nothing that can happen to you because you don't have a license. This is why I tell people not to fuck with non-licensed people, because if he fucked with you and you lost the money, he could be mad that there's nothing, ain't no trouble that the SEC they're gonna come to you and be like, do you have your license? No, sir, what the fuck were you doing trading with this motherfucker? Morning, NC worker. He wasn't licensed. There's nothing we could do about it. What you want us to do? I mean, you could call the FBI and maybe say he scammed you, but that's your fuck up, stupid. Right? That's all they're gonna say to him. what, what you what you want me to do, sir? FINRA ain't gonna do nothing to you. That's the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. That's why I say don't listen to Wall Street Trapper. I mean, you can listen to them, but not take them seriously. I only fucks with licenses. Just like if I'm going to go get a haircut, you got to be a licensed barber. So we'll deal with somebody who's a licensed barber. Oh no, you can't touch my hair if you ain't got your beautician's license. I ain't gonna have you burn my shit up. But then we'll talk about things like managing money. And listen, just because you have the license don't mean you're good at it. But it does mean that if you're not good at it and you lose my money, I can get something back. Just like having a barber's license don't mean you ain't gonna zeke me. Right? That's not what that means. That just means that if you zeke me in a certain manner and I end up harmed from it, then I can have recourse. Right? That's all that is. About to go get me a OJ. I'm actually enjoying talking with y'all. I think I'm gonna do this more often. Shout out to the broke genius because you actually gave me the balls to do this, right? Because I was like, I just watch and those guys are personality cool, but they're for entertainment. Yeah. But I was watching you live one day and you was like, I got tired of seeing some nonsense and yeah, there's some good stuff on. And generally that's what I do. I go smoke my J and I watch me some YouTube. But I do have things on my mind, and apparently there are people who appreciate some of the things that I say because I feel like I do say some kind of things that are, you know, poignant. Um, but I think it's necessary to get this information out here, and because of the kind of what's good, brother, because of the kind of content that I consume, um, it puts certain things in my purvey, into my sphere of vision, and I think my Cash App is across the screen, boss, and I think how y'all doing? And I think in those manners, we can all add value and help each other. Like I said, broke genius, you gave me the balls to do this because you was like, yo, I be bored, and sometimes I don't want to hear what these dudes are saying, crying about Keisha, right? And you know, or some other nonsense. So I just go live myself, and that's my form of entertainment. Hey, Miss Gwen, how you doing? Yeah, I hear you. So it. He says, "Are they still with the nonsense?" See, you got a dog with you? Oh, that's your earmuffs. I was like, oh. Dog too. I said that dog tastes good. I was like, yo, that dog is being real. That's so cute. Okay, have a good one. Woof. You listen, get that, enjoy that cigarette, the last one. All right. Okay. You listen. Listen. We gotta definitely chop it up, cause. Yes. I'll see you later. So he says, the morning usually starts with the latest gossip. How is that gonna help people get wealthy? Exactly, right? I get tired of hearing black men talk nonsense about women, especially brothers, man. As black men, we're supposed to be trying to grow, man. We got enough bullshit dealing with us. Salute, Abdul. Appreciate it. And I think that people gotta understand what the crux of us. What's going on, officer? Looking like. I mean, it's just nonsensical conversations. And then we wonder as brothers why we're not getting taken serious. Well, it's hard to take us collectively as serious when us collectively don't act serious. What's up, cuz? I'm doing well. I got to squeeze by. I got to get an orange juice. No, what? No, I'm just kidding. No falling, cuz. No falling. Thank you. Hmm. Oh, man. What's up, cuz? Not too much. You know, just broadcasting. Think I want to go for a drive. I don't know. My buddy, he's like I said, he got the S580, but now he's wanting the truck. So he went to go look at a GLE, but the 63, the double digit. So, yeah. Well, I was gonna listen. The first one I was looking at the E63, the one at 45 grand. I just Yeah, but it's a 2015. That's why I was like, I know it's a 63. Uh, but it was twin turbo V8. Listen, I was just in this. I was just doing 110 accidentally with my grandmother in the car, so I got to slow down.
Your grandmother mess you up.
Yeah, you know, everybody be mad at me.
If you find out you're doing that,
Yeah, it's terrible. So all right, cuz. But it's a difficult task, brothers. Let me see. What's up, Joey? See if I could sit somewhere. And so collectively, we don't get taken seriously. So collectively, as black men, we have a knee on our neck, right? Because collectively, we'd rather be standing on the corner, like, right? I'm not gonna tape these men. What's up, gentlemen? But these are two black men who are police officers. Now they're standing on the corner. Guess what? They're getting paid for this shit. But what we as black men would rather be doing is standing on the corner. Oh, I'm out here getting it. Hey, I got that work. Hey, I got that work. Looking like fucking idiots, even though we don't even control the drug gang. The Mexicans do. Right? We want to talk all that gangster shit. We don't control gangsterism. The Mexicans do. It's called 18th Street, not even Monte Salvatrucha. But most of y'all niggas don't even know other gangs. Y'all just know, oh, the ops up the block. Right? So again, we get inundated with this BS morning conversation of dudes crying about Keisha or trying to be the top shotter. And it's not going to help us get wealthy. And again, I consume a lot of it because I like the foolishness and fuckery. And for me, sometimes it is escapism. Actually, I want to sit in the sun. Damn truck is over there. I want to get some sunlight before I sit here. Wow, I look like a straight heroin is a hell of a drug, woman. But it's here we go. Well, it's a little bit of sunlight, right? So anyway, back to my original rant about whole life insurance. Because this will help you get wealthy, actually. So with whole life insurance, you can you get some of the features and benefits, and yes, it builds that cash value, but it robs you. Right? He says the lead character in the Ozarks is a financial investor. Why is that? I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to check that show out. But financial services is really like a great field. Like I be telling brothers all the time, yo, you should get into this. And I often hear them, oh, I'd rather get in real estate. I'm gonna get in real estate. And the reason why is because it's tangible. You need to learn how to sell intangibles. Intangibles is where the money is at. So that's retirement accounts, long-term care insurance, life insurance, IRAs, right? 5.7% of the financial industry, services industry is black. So now we're talking, we want financial literacy and generational wealth, but we're not getting into the fucking field of generational wealth. How retarded is that? To ask for something, but then not get into what it is. That's like saying, I want to be a basketball player, and then no black guy ever becomes a coach. Now, there might not be a bunch of black guys who are coaches in the pro leagues, but there's a bunch of high school coaches who are black, college coaches who are black, Pop Warner coaches who are black. Right? So, man, fuck this. So we gotta I had to throw that stove. That shit was nasty as shit. I can't do them cigarette shits no more, man. That shit tastes especially with the orange juice. I'm quitting that shit. Fuck it. But so why wouldn't we get into financial services? You can make a lot of money. It's hard, but so is real estate. It's hard, but you don't hear them saying that about, like, if I were to say get into crypto, oh yeah, let's do it. Because there's a low barrier to entry. You guys have to understand, with investing, with things that are elite, there's going to be a high barrier to entry. So if it's like crypto where everybody can get into crypto, there's a low barrier to entry. You could get into crypto with one fucking dollar, which means that the overall value of it is going to be nothing. Right? How do I know? How many motherfuckers you know have a shit? Let's even use Mercedes since I just bought a Benz. How many motherfuckers you know can just go to the dealership, slap down $7,500 and walk out the dealership? Not many. How many motherfuckers you know can go to the Benz dealership and slap down 15,000 and then drive out with a $750 a month payment? This guy. Why is it so prestigious? Why is it, oh, you got a Benz? Because it's expensive. So there's a high barrier to entry. That's why people covet it. That's why it's valuable. So with things like crypto, oh, anybody can get into it. No, that's why the fuck I don't believe in crypto, because every fucking body and their mother can get into it with no experience and no knowledge, which means that there's such a low barrier to entry that it's probably not beneficial. Another example, gun ownership. You can't just go to the store because you're 21 and buy a gun. You have to go through training to shoot a gun and buy a gun, which means there's a barrier to entry. Because if you don't have that barrier to entry, you have what you have in there in the city. A bunch of motherfuckers who don't know what the fuck they're doing with a gun, like the motherfuckers who shot me 5 times. Point blank range. See, I'm NRA certified, so I would have known to clean the barrel before shooting the motherfucker and clean the barrel after shooting the motherfucker. So if forensics got to it, they can't trace the gun back to me. But most motherfuckers who just see a gun and pick it up go pew, 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 pew. They don't know the difference of P and plus P ammo. So there's a barrier to entry. No, I'm going to get into crypto. I'm gonna get into real estate investing, fix and flip. I'm going to go start a business. I'm going to go start an LLC and get a $150,000 business loan. He says a rhetorical question. The financial industry is... No, I know you were saying it was a rhetorical question, Broke Genius. I was just stating the fact. But yes, the financial services industry is substantially larger than the dope gang. He says, dude, stop cooking. I'm at the bank. It's the truth. What's up, brother? Chilling, chilling. You know, it's the truth. You know, you can't. Damn, I really did throw that cigarette. Well, that's a good thing. It's the truth, bro. Like I said, I work with firefighters and fucking corrections officers. Last firefighter I just worked with retired. Niggas 457, which is his retirement account, is fucked. And he had an old contract. The reason I'm talking because I got police behind me. So then niggas need to know I know what the fuck they got going on. Right? You might as well have a brother who look like you and know what the fuck he going through. Talk to you about it. But at any rate. So there's a barrier to entry, which is what makes things more valuable. Right? It's the reality of the situation. Right? We can't keep running our head against the wall. You know, that wall that we claim Keisha runs up. Keisha hit the wall. The really reason they mad at Keisha hitting the wall, dudes like BGS and them mad at Keisha hitting the wall, is because they ain't hitting them walls when they finally get a chance with Keisha. But you ain't hear that from me. But back to the wealth, man. Again, it's very difficult to listen to Wall Street Trapper stuff, so on and so forth. But so my original rant, and then I'm gonna get going. You look at things like why, like I said, whole life insurance is just that much of a. It's a good thing to have, but it's not the end all be all. So I do think I'm gonna do a series highlighting how I can work with other professionals, right? So I'm gonna highlight, hey, I'm working with accountants. And this is how an accountant can help me to help their clients. Because when you help your clients as an accountant, you make more money, right? It's not just off of preparing their taxes or starting an LLC for them, right? You want to help them with tax saving strategies. My video yesterday, TM Muffin Tuesday, you saw where I explained I had a client, $300,000 annual income, but he's self-employed. So taxes, right? He owes the government 87 grand. So well, it was 100 and some odd grand to close that gap and change that. But this is the type of stuff and the type of discussions that we should be having. And guess what? It's another black man with over that six figures that sisters be asking for. Now, when he's looking for a woman, he does have certain requirements, and he fits everything that the woman wants. He's above 6 feet tall. He's got a six pack, and he's got the six figures. I don't know about the 6 inches. I ain't trying to find that one out. But man, it ended up being actually a pretty nice day out. So, like I said, that guy doesn't have a wife or kids, and he's got life insurance with me. He's paying over $1,000 a month. It seems like a lot of the guys that I work with don't have wife and kids, and they're paying over $1,000 a month. So what that tells me is this: you're being lied to by the insurance salesman who says, you should buy term while you're young and healthy, and you should buy whole life when you're older, because when you're older you'll have more money. That's a lie, because when you're older you'll have more responsibility, right? People always, man, before I had kids I had all kinds of money. Now I got kids, I ain't got no money left, right? It's because you don't manage your money well. How you doing? But the way that it's supposed to be done is, as a young, healthy guy with no responsibilities, you've got a bunch of expendable income, right? So you lock yourself into a price that's low of something that you get a benefit for the multitude of years. Now, when you're locked in and you're 40 and you got a wife and kids, you still got $1 million worth of coverage that you're going to one day need, and you're not paying out the ass for it. And guess what? If you don't have the wife and kids, oh, well, now you can actually use the life insurance to live off of, right? Men at work. All right? So what's going on, boss? So, those are just some of the things that I don't know, I was just ranting about. I think I'm gonna go for a ride or something. I'm bored today. I should go prospecting and show y'all what that looks like, where you have to actually go out and try and get customers, because that's actually a whole different type of thing, right? And so it kind of works a little. What's up, Chief? Yeah, that spot is actually banging. So if you get that, you got to get the cachappas. All right? Right there, it's almost. Huh. So he says, if you have no advanced degree, master's or higher, and are not married and black in America, the odds are stacked against you if you want to be a millionaire. Yeah, didn't you say there was a statistic? It was like 75% of millionaires in America are married. So it's funny because we got guys who are running around in spaces, talking about not getting married because of. Meanwhile, they are, but she's gonna take me for half of my shit. You ain't got shit. So what's she gonna take you for half of? Nothing. I'm gonna take him for half of nothing. I'm up, right? Most of the time, you get there because you're married. Because if you're not married, you don't get invited to the party. It's kind of the way it goes. Sad but true. The unmarried man really doesn't get invited to the party, right? You get a couple of guys. He says both builds wealth. Yes, right. When you're married, you're building wealth with your significant other. You're building power. You're creating families. So those are who. And like, think about it. Let's really think about it for a second. How many of you would vote for a single politician? So this means a politician with no wife, no kids, no husband, right? Um, the Jay Z music. Let's change this up. He's listening to American Gangster. So, what's crazy is, what's up, cuz? Okay. So, it's just like realistically crazy that we don't map out the positions that we need to be in life. I don't know. It's just a sad day, to see, especially as black men, so many of us on the bottom and not looking for ways to come out, really, except for the get rich quick way or the get rich quick scheme, right? He says, he will have your best interest. He thinks single instead of family. Exactly, right? He's not going to have your best interest if he's single because he's thinking single. Whereas families is what this country is made of. And even if you're a single person, you're still family oriented because you got your brother, your sister, your uncle, your aunt, your cousin, your mother, your father, somebody. So it's really all built through wealth. I mean, all the wealth is built through family. The legacy is built through family. It's just the way that it is. Oh no, single people can definitely make good decisions. I'm not saying that. But would you vote for a single politician if a guy was running for mayor? My name is Mayor John Smith. I have no wife, no kids. I don't know that he's going to make decisions that are going to affect the community. Same name. What's going on, brother? All right. What's happening, OG?
How you doing,
All right. So, and see stuff like that, right? Now, there's one brother there who has a business, but the rest of them brothers is just hanging out, right? Listening to music from the 60s and 70s. Yeah, I'll give them brothers respect and say hello. The only one I really respect the most is the self-employed individual who's hanging on the corner doing something productive. The other motherfuckers is just sitting there bullshitting. Yeah, I'll give them that, but come on, black man. We got to be better than that. These niggas sitting out here for 60 years bullshitting. You wonder why black men ain't getting nowhere. You wonder why young black men ain't doing shit but fucking knocking each other the fuck over. But let me come talk to y'all about life insurance and generational wealth or actually getting this shit together. Oh, it's boring. Oh, I ain't got time for that. All right, well, fuck you. That's why I'm rich and I just bought a Benz fucking cash and walk around like a bum. That's a $30,000 car in one fucking week's paycheck. Yeah, nigga. One check, 30 bands, off the rip. Excuse me for bragging. But when you got niggas sitting there who been sitting on that corner since I was 17 and they still on that fucking corner talking about what's up, youngin', boom, boom, listening to the fucking music. Black man, what the fuck is that I have to look up to? I just made them niggas whole salary in one transaction. And them niggas is still sitting on the corner. That ain't shit for me or the younger black men to look up to. Right? It ain't. But these are the examples that we have out there. And I got to sit here and come on the internet and hear you niggas crying about Keisha. Fuck Keisha. Or maybe if you didn't fuck Keisha and you had some fucking penis control, we wouldn't be in this problem. But we are. So, I'm going to speak up about it because I feel some type of way. Right? Now we're here by the court. I bet you if I go here by the courthouse, I'll find some brothers in a suit and tie. Let's see. Let's go by the courthouse. Fuck it. I want to see. I'm gonna go to the court because I was showing how my Fresh Up Friday. Damn, should have got some cake. I see why you don't have penis control. Oh shit! Hold on, it's a brother in a suit. Love it. What's going on, bro? All right. What do you do for a living?
Lawyer.
You're a lawyer. What do you practice? I'm looking for somebody to set up a estates and trust. Let me give you my business card, brother.
Can't do that one. Sorry, man.
Oh, you don't do estates and trust? All right. Yep. So the brother doesn't do estates and trusts. What about an executive 162 bonus plan or a tax shelter? All right. So he can't do anything. So he probably just got out of law school, probably a public defender at the moment, which is totally fine. And the brother's still doing something positive, right? He's trying to get somewhere. Now, I'm not going to lie. You may be judging a book by its cover. My suit's a custom. The suit is nice, but it has a center vent, which lets me know that it's not custom. You usually want a double vent, but the brother's doing his thing. So that's that. So we're going to go by the court and see who got a suit on besides it. Now, that brother's suit also fits him well, which is a good thing. But she says, that shit feels so good not to be broke, don't it? Bruh, I could save that dude so much money. Huh? But it's funny, again, the bravado with black men, because I asked you a specific question. What do you practice? Don't tell me you practice everything. And then when I ask for a specific practice, it's something that you can't deliver on. So that's kind of bloviating. Don't bloviate. Be honest with me, right? I don't know what area of practice you do, but as a financial advisor, I may be able to add people to your book of business, right? So instead of bloviating, give me the exact answer, and then we can definitely move forward, right? We got to stop the bloviating bullshit, because that was bloviating bullshit. You just told me you could help me with everything, and then when I asked you, hey, can you do estates? Oh, no, I can't do that. Well, that's what the fuck. So you can't do everything. So why the fuck lie? Again, black man, you came out looking good, but now that whole look just fell flat on our fucking face. He just said, hey, I practice. I'm a lawyer. Oh, you're a lawyer? What do you practice? Everything. Oh, cool. Let me give you my card. I need somebody to do estates and trusts. I can't do that. So, nigga, you just lied and telling me you can do everything. I'm not going to go into the court. But this is ridiculous. Now that I've taken my walk, right? Like if I go to one of these white guys who's an attorney and I say, hey, what do you practice? And they say everything. Oh, cool. Let me give you my card. I'm looking for somebody who does estates and trusts. I can't do that. Well, then you can't do everything then, right? I just asked, and I was saying this shit. I made sure to catch up to him. So I'm sure he heard what the fuck I was saying. I'm at a point in my life where I'm not going to bullshit and hide from you. But just like this brother came out, I'm trying to make him look good. And then the brother bullshits. Oh, hey, what's up? What do you do for a living? Lawyer. Oh, cool. What do you practice? Everything. Oh, cool. I need an estate and trusts. I can't do that. What a nigga, you can't do everything. So don't try to look big for no fucking reason. That's like all these rappers talking about all this fucking cocaine and shit that they ain't selling. What up, bro? Nice C class. All right. Hey, what you do for a living? All right. All good. I had E class, baby. I'm just trying to say hi. You see this bullshit, man? Black men not saying hello. Look at that. That's bullshit. We doing it in real life time. I just got embarrassed by two black men. One who's a supposed lawyer. I said, oh, you a lawyer? Yeah. What do you practice? Then this nigga gets in his Benz, bro, I got an E class. And I got a new one. Yo shit is 2012. I just said, what do you do for a living? Don't close the door on me, my nigga. I was trying to speak to you, but fuck you anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, this is the shit, bro. But at the end of the day, like, I could have pulled up my key and been like, bro, don't like, I dress down, right? And you should see I ain't in Jordans like you broke niggas. But I realized, like, Because one of my men seen me one day hopping out of the Benz. He was like, damn, I can tell you actually are supposed to be in that Benz. I said, why? He said, if you would have hopped out this Benz in some Jordans with the fitted cap and fly, I would have known that all you have is this Benz. Right? Now, I show it off and I speak about it because it's a new toy. But I've got substantially more, right? I've got assets. I've got retirement accounts. But again, you know, it is what it is. So I go by the court, you can't find a brother in the suit. You go by the court, you find a brother in the suit, says he's a lawyer. Oh, what kind of law do you practice? Everything. Can you do estates? No. Then you don't practice everything, you dumb motherfucker. Why do you think they're not taking us serious? This nigga's out here, oh, I do everything. Listen, don't get the better than you complex, bro. I fell victim of it too really fast and had to realize, wait a second, don't judge the book by its cover, but still speak to a nigga. But that's what we got to do is speak. And most of the time, we don't have the knowledge of some shit. Just like I'm not a lawyer, right? So I don't have the knowledge of the law. So with that nigga, no matter what kind of law he practiced, hey, listen, I'm trying. And there's keywords you should be listening for when you're speaking to a black man to see if he's just the average nigga. When I say, hey, what kind of law do you practice? That's not somebody who says, oh, you a lawyer? What kind of law do you do? No, what type of law do you practice that lets you understand that I have a knowledge of what the fuck you're talking about or what the fuck you do for a living, right? Another brother in the Benz, right? So that means that I have some kind of an idea of what the fuck I'm talking about or what the fuck you do for a living. Because the average motherfucker, no matter black, white, or otherwise, is not going to say, what area do you practice? They're going to say, hey, what kind of law you do? So now the brother goes, everything. So now me, being an industrious black man, I'm like, cool, it's another black man I can work with. But he's blowing smoke up my ass, talking about I'm a lawyer, I can practice everything. Let me walk fast like I got somewhere to go. Nigga, you going to lunch. Hey, and then when I say, hey, brother, what kind of law do you practice? Let me give you my card. I'm looking for someone to do estate. Suddenly, you don't practice that area. So then don't tell me you practice everything. Because I may actually, especially if you're a lawyer is a fucking ambulance chaser. Me dressed like this, especially if you're a criminal case, lawyer should be like, he dressed like a criminal. Let me definitely speak to this nigga. He might be my next case. Right? Like, you have the white guy coming up. I don't give a fuck what he does for a living. Right? Because he's not of my ilk. I don't have anything against them, but right now, my ilk is at the bottom. So that's what I give a fuck about. But I see why brothers become very selfish. Because just literally displayed being personable, I'm saying hi to another brother. Let me tell you, if I was a black woman, I'd be treating y'all niggas like shit too. I see the way y'all treat each other. When the black man came up, hey, brother, what you do for? Oh, no, I ain't got. Let me walk fast. I'm a lawyer. I catch up to you while on a fucking live stream to catch up to you to loud enough talk my bullshit for you to hear it, for me to intentionally know you hear it, right? So obviously your happy ass needed to hear it, right? But again, just like them brothers I passed on the block, man, it's just a bunch of nonsense. Fucking nonsensical black babble. At any rate, I don't want to end this on a sour note, so we're not. I'm going to end this on a good note. It's a beautiful day. I did just, hey, Bobby, what's up? Chilling, chilling.
Print or something. You know what chance is printing?
Printing? Uh, shit, the only place, possibly. Well, what you trying to print?
So think some.
Oh, you got a document. Oh, you got to print the code and all that.
Yeah, I want to
Um,
Return.
yeah, it's a return label. Yeah, you could go to the library, probably do it.
Thank you.
Huh? So yeah, brother. As my man from the barber shop. But I see why I keep with you niggas. Cause unless you niggas is on some bullshit, extra showy offy shit, then it seemed like we ain't on nothing. It seemed like we ain't trying to build and empower together, right? Like I really asked that brother, hey, what do you do for a living? Lawyer. Oh, cool. What kind of law do you practice? Everything. Cool. Well, since you practice everything, I need an estate and wills, estate and trusts. Nope, can't do that. Well, the fuck? So what about a tax shelter? Can't do that neither. Well, then what the fuck can you do? Obviously, you don't practice everything. Because I just asked for very specific things: wills and estates, contract law. So those are things, if you say you practice everything, you should be practicing. Then I ask you, and you're not practicing those. So that tells me, oh, I'm a public defender. I just got out of college. I don't have any money. All I do is I get the niggas who got caught with 2 dime bags of weed trying to be hard, and I try to get them less than 24 months in jail. That's all I do. All right, cool. You ain't got to bloviate what you do. You know, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm so unorthodox, it's ridiculous, right? But it is what it is. At any rate, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, the insurance junkie, your fiduciary fella, the insurance extraordinaire, Lonzo Hall, and I've returned with another ADH Wealth Solution. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to schedule an appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links are in the description of this video. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, wipe ass. Work in progress every day and see success. Wipe ass. Work in progress every day and see success. Wipe ass. Work in progress every day and see success. And remember, folks, when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge. Salute.